Next. Um, but you know, there's a flip side to all of these things that I've been talking about that make things easier, which is the things that create friction. Um, and there are several of them. I mean, certain implementations we've seen create hurdles for third parties, long review processes, inability to add staff, really bespoke and aggressive terms and conditions is something that we're increasingly seeing. Treating a third party like they're basically a bolt-on vendor to the utility, as opposed to a separate entity that's getting information in one direction. We see processes that are confusing for the customer too. They're multi-steps, the information's hidden, they can't figure out how to authorize. The consent process might not be clear. I think a big one I've seen is the customer can't always follow the chain to figure out how to revoke consent from a third party once it's shared. We think that's important for the customer having control over the life cycle of the process. Um, Manual processes create really long lag times. If you think about if you're an implementer who is sitting with a customer in person, they've signed off the paper consent form, you have gotten a lot of the enrollment processed, the paper consent form goes into the utility, and 2 weeks later you hear that the account numbers were transposed, and so the paperwork needs to be redone. Requires new meetings with all the different, challenges those create for meeting up with people. It creates friction for the customer as well as the third party. And then you can have incomplete data sets. The third party, if a solar and storage company is looking for particular data in order to put together a proposal and they're only getting half of what they need through digital authorization, that can be a problem. It doesn't make it the process more efficient. So something I think we've seen over the years is that these data sharing implementations, they're not getting a lot of usage. I think it might be because one or more of these factors isn't coming together. It's not that there is an appetite, it's that is friction in the process. And so I really encourage you to test any data tools you have, not just as a customer, but also try to demo them as a third party if you can, to kind of understand where those friction points are.